So a beginner mistake I even made was using 2 staples, one for each cable. What you can do is just use 1 staple for 2. It keeps them together with 1 and it's a lot cleaner. It looks nice. Although this really isn't that bad, you're not going to fail an inspection based on this, I don't think. Another mistake you might be likely to make is forgetting to put a bushing on your clamp for the cables coming in. This could be even cables coming into an outlet receptacle, or in this case a subpanel. So you can use one of these plastic bushings that go on. It protects the cables from getting cut on that sharp metal edge. Similar to this mistake is just putting the clamp in backwards. Not a huge deal, although it is kind of a pain if you've already hooked up your cables. This clamp is in backwards, so don't do it like this. Don't make the mistake of forgetting a antioxidant compound on the service cables. This is going to be on the large cables coming into your sub panel. It's what brings power to it. You will be tempted to put the outlet on right away. This isn't a good idea for multiple reasons. One, you need those wires exposed for the inspection, and 2, when you put the sheetrock on, you don't want the outlet in the way. Instead, what you do is take the sheathing or casing off the wires, you strip them, and then you roll them back into the box. This is what they want to see in the inspection, and it'll be out of the way for the people doing sheetrock. Plus, this means that you're all done with this outlet and you can move on. You all know that when you do something for the first time, you forget to plan out everything in advance. You may forget about something. One of those things is putting the receptacles in the location. This goes for light switches, outlets, even for the ceiling to install lights. You want all those installed before running the cable. That way you can cut the cable to length and you won't end up with a short cable. When picking the location for your receptacle, you can either mark it on the stud, or what I like to do is just use my hammer all the way to the floor and then press the electrical box right down to it, and then that's the height. This way it keeps all my receptacles nice and consistent. This is really a time-saving technique than anything else. Don't feel like you have to do it this way. If you like using the tape and measure and choose out a specific height, then that's great. So maybe you cut your cable or you ran out of cable before you got to your outlet, and so you want to splice these together to continue on. Do not do this. The wires will spark. They can basically catch your house on fire, so do not do this. I'd recommend running a whole wire instead of splicing, but if you are going to splice, make sure it's done inside of a junction box. Do your research and make sure you buy the right cable. Or you might make the same mistake I did, where I bought the correct gauge of wire, but it wasn't the correct type. I bought normal copper, I think it was Romex, but I can't use it for a service entrance cable to a sub panel. It has to be a specific type, so this was actually a larger gauge aluminum cable. And finally, make sure you buy the right breaker for your box. This sub panel is a square D, so I got a square D breaker. You can't mix and match. Say get a Siemens sub panel and use square D breakers. They won't be compatible. Another quick tip is that square D has 2 different lines. It's like a Q line and a home line, so you want to make sure you buy the right one for your panel. Well, that's all my tips for today. If you found the information in this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot to put out new videos. Also, if you're looking for more information on house wiring, go ahead and check out my other videos.